Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today, I'm going to be teaching you how to clean your cage if you have a fleece liner. So let's first get into the pros and cons of using a fleece liner. So first off, when you are using a fleece liner, it doesn't have that rough texture that a wood shavings would have. And what this wood shavings does to your chinchilla's feet is it allows your chinchilla's feet to get a callus, which actually protects the bottom of your chinchilla's feet. When you use fleece, this callus is not formed, so they get very soft feet and they're more vulnerable to getting cuts or bumblefoot or things of that nature. And on top of that, because they have soft feet and can get cuts and whatnot, if they are peeing in their liner and it becomes saturated and they walk through it, it can be a sanitary issue where that is getting into their wounds and can cause infection. So you just want to be careful with that and make sure you are providing texture in your cage. You can do that through wooden shelves. And you can add a litter box to the corner of your cage with wood shavings, and these different textures will help with promoting good foot health for your chinchilla. But that is probably the biggest con I have with the fleece liners, but there are a few more. For example, if you are living in a warmer climate, fleece is going to insulate your chinchilla and make it a little bit too warm. So if you are in a warm area, make sure you have AC to make sure your chinchilla is nice and cool, but I would also provide either metal shelves or a cool stone, so either granite or marble, and this just gives your chinchilla a place to go to cool down if the fleece is getting a bit too warm for them. There's another con that I have. Another con I have is there is a lot that goes into maintaining this type of bedding. For example, you need to wash these liners every 3 days in order for them to maintain sanitariness. Is that a word? You want to make sure they're clean and they will last about 3 days at the most. I know people that wash them every single day, so if you do decide for this to be your bedding, you want to make sure that you have multiple liners to keep up with this. So you can have one in the wash and one on your chinchilla's cage. However, if you do prefer a fleece liner, this is going to be very comfortable for your chinchilla to sleep in because it's nice and soft. You also will not have to worry about the cost of buying bedding weekly. You will just need to wash your liner, so whenever you run out of detergent, but that is generally cheaper than buying bedding over and over and over again. You're just going to buy however many liners you have at the moment. So if you decided that a fleece liner is what you want to use for bedding, let's go over exactly how you would do that. So if you guys are looking for suggestions for where to get fleece liners, I would suggest Adorkable Pets on Etsy. I suggest them because they have a lot of different options and they make a lot of custom liners for a variety of cages. So I'll link them in the description below and you can check them out. However, you are going to be looking for an anti-pill fleece. You want to make sure that is no pill because this is the fabric that is safest for chinchillas because it doesn't have all of those strings that come in other fabrics, which those can be a choking hazard and it can cause blockages if they ingest it. So you want to make sure it is a no pill fleece. I would also suggest trying to find liners that have an absorbent layer in between the fleece because that will also help in the long run so that you don't have pee sitting on the floor pan. And then I'd also suggest getting ones that are like pillowcases, which I will show you. Mine is a pillowcase and then the top kind of flips over on itself. Those are probably the best ones that I have found so far, mostly because my chinchillas can't pull them up because of that flip over the top. However, this liner brand is no longer available, so I can't direct you to them, but this is my favorite liner just because of that reason. Now, you do not necessarily need to even buy liners. You can either make the liners or you can just pin fabric to your floor pan. which that is one of the secret tips I give in this video. So if you want to check that out, I'll link that in the description. Now, when you finally get your fleece liners, you are going to need to prep it before you put it in your chinchilla's cage. This is called wicking, and essentially when you get fleece, it has this natural resistance to water. So when you pour water or liquid on a fleece bedding, the water is going to sit on the surface for a while before it starts to absorb into the fleece. And we want to kind of break that down before we put it in our chinchilla's cage. So the way to do that is you're going to need to wash it, I would say anywhere between 2 to 5 times, but you're probably more likely going to be closer to 5 washes. And there's a specific method you want to do when you are wicking your fabric for a fleece liner. When you are wicking your fabric for the first cycle, you are going to wash it on hot with a free and clear detergent. You want to make sure there are no fragrance or dyes in this detergent. And I also suggest using a powder detergent just because powder doesn't have as much of a residue as the liquids. So I tend to like favor the powder detergents over the liquid detergents. I would also suggest putting it on a heavier setting. This is literally going to roughen up the fleece in order to break down those protective oils or whatever it is preventing the water from being absorbed into the fleece. Once it is washed, you're going to put it in for a second cycle. You're going to put in a little bit of white vinegar, and I would say like about a cup or so. And then you're going to wash it again and use your judgment. You can use hot water again, or you can use medium heat. But you're going to want to do this until your fleece starts absorbing water. And you very much can tell is once it's dry, you're going to pour water on top of it. And if it absorbs immediately, then it should be good and you can put it in your chinchilla's cage. However, if it is sitting on top of the fleece, you're going to want to continue that washing process until it starts absorbing. Because if your chinchilla pees on the fabric, your chinchilla is going to be walking through it constantly, and that is unsanitary. So you want to wick your fabric before you put it in your chinchilla's cage. However, I do want to say that each vendor is going to do this a little bit differently. Some like to pre-wick their fabric and some don't. So it's going to differ a little bit per vendor and vendor. So once your fabric is absorbing water, you can then add it to your chinchilla's cage, and let's get over your daily maintenance of fleece liners. Now you will need to sweep out the entire cage, all of the shelves and the bottom where your fleece is. You're going to want to sweep out all of the poop and hay and wood chips. You're going to want to do that every single day so that they aren't walking around in their poop and whatnot. So when I'm cleaning the cage, I like to take the litter pan out and just remove all of the bedding from that and give them clean bedding. And I like to grab a dustpan and a hand broom and just sweep out the cage. This makes it easier so I don't have to like shake it out anywhere. But now I like to clean their cage while they are still in the cage, just because it's easier for me and it's easier for them. It's less stressful than me picking them up and moving them to a new location. So with fleece liners, it's a little bit hard because you have to take this pan out in order to clean it. And there's a whole bunch of wires on the bottom that are too wide for them to walk on. So what I do is I grab a spare pan. So I have 2 pans like this, and I will put my new liner on this pan and I will just slide it underneath this pan here. And this kind of helps me with that. This is my other liner, and it comes with this extra piece that just flips over the side. So it prevents them from pulling on this and going inside of it, honestly. And then I have this lip here, and I flip it over. So it's just like a little pocket. And they can't pull this up and go on the inside of it. So I put the liner into the washer, and I make sure it's going to be in there level because it's going to get heavy. This is the laundry detergent that I specifically use. You can literally get a free and clear any kind of detergent. I use this because I am specifically allergic to almost everything. I am also allergic to free and clear. So this is highly hypoallergenic, so it's gonna be real great for my chinchillas. So I just get a scoop of that and I put it in my detergent thing. But yeah, I use Molly's Suds. It is no fragrance or dyes. It also doesn't have any of these other chemicals. Mostly because I am very allergic to laundry detergent. So you don't need something specifically like this because you have to order this online. You can just use a free and clear detergent, but this is the stuff I use because I personally have so many allergies, so we're using Molly's Suds. I also use a distilled white vinegar. Hold on. Okay. I also, oh, focus, dear God, focus, do it. I also use this very blurry distilled white vinegar, and I usually, I'm gonna do this with one hand while it's still being blurry. And I just pour some in here. But you can use about a cup of it, and just that will get rid of all of the odors. Okay, so if you are wicking this, I would use a hot, and I would do extra heavy, because this is going to help with the breaking down of those oils on the fleece. However, because I am just washing this, I'm gonna do a medium and warm. I don't like to wash it on hot. And then I'll do normal, and I do extra rinse. So voila. And then we just hit the go button. Now that you have your detergent in, I would wash on either a medium heat or a hot heat. I like to do this because it sanitizes the liner. However, it is going to shrink your liner, so you're going to want to decide if that is best for whatever liner you choose. And a lot of times your care instructions are going to determine what's best for the liner. So you may need to wash it on cold. I like to wash them in warm water because it kind of kills the bacteria in the liners. Next, I like to add an extra rinse to make sure that it is getting all of the detergent and whatnot off. And I like to hang dry. There are some where you can tumble dry low, but I prefer to just dry them on a hanger or lay them flat to dry. While you still have the liner off of your floor pan, I like to disinfect the floor pan. You can either use a distilled white vinegar water mix for this, or you can use a little bit of Dawn dish soap to just disinfect and make sure that anything hasn't seeped through the liner, just to keep everything sanitary. Now, fleece liners are a great bedding to use, especially if you have a Ferret Nation cage or another cage that has a plastic pan, because this is going to protect your chinchilla from the plastic pan from eating that and causing blockages. It is a very great bedding to use for your chinchilla. And if you guys are interested, I'm going to be making more videos about bedding. There are other safe beddings that I would like to talk about and tell you exactly what I think about them and how to clean your cage using them. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get notified the next time I post. And while you guys wait, make sure you check out these videos next, and I will see you guys in the next one. However, there is the possibility that your chinchilla may pull off the clips, and you might have an issue where they pull the bedding up. Okay. Oh, she's asleep in there. Oh my god, this is so cute. Look at her. Wait. Oh, sorry, she moved. Oh, she's so cute. Okay. Sorry. Okay. What was I saying?